Hello children. Today we are going to see in this video about chapter 13, that is biology. Why do we fall ill? So we know in our life we used to fall ill sometime. Yes, so it will affect some disease, maybe some disease will affect our body, or sometimes certain illness will happen in our body. So in this chapter you are going to learn about why do we fall ill, so why the illness occur in the body. Okay children, now we can see first about what is meant by health. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being. So, health means what? It will comes the physical. So, if you are having physically you are good, means we can say that you are having good health. And mentally means your thinking and way of talking, so everything comes under mental. And social well-being, that means relationship with your society, the how we are dealing with the society, so that is called social well-being. So health means it is the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Okay, so if we are physically, mentally, and socially good, it means that we are a healthy person. Okay, so health in general means we are free from illness. If we are free from illness, or free from disease, or free from injury or pain, or we are having the proper physical fitness, then we can say that we are having a good health. Okay, so health in general means free from illness, or free from disease, free from injury or pain, or lack of physical fitness. So here you can see the flow chart which is mentioning the health. So to maintain the proper health, what we have to do? We should have a proper food and diet. Okay, so we should take a balanced diet in our life. Then we can maintain the good health. Then every day we should do proper exercise. So to maintain our health, it's very important to do the regular exercise for our physical fitness. Then the relationship with the family and friends should be good. Okay, so we have to we have to be very happy and love and affectionate with the family and our friends, which will give us a good health. Then to maintain our health, we have to sleep properly. So proper sleep is very important to maintain health. Then stress management, so we should be tensionless. So for everything we should not get tensed fastly, so it will affect our health. So we should manage our stress properly, which will maintain our health. So to maintain health, what are the things we have to maintain? We should take proper food and proper diet, and we should do regular exercise. We should have a proper relationship with our family and friends, and our sleep should be good or proper, and we should manage our stress. So that is tensionless life we will maintain, will lead us to a healthy life. Now here you can see the important characteristics of person who is having good health. So if the person is having good health, certain characters will remind us that a person is having a good health. So what are they? First one is, if the person is having good health, he will be, or he or she will be free from sickness and diseases. So the particular person who is having good health will be free from sickness and disease. So they will not have any sickness or disease, and they will be free from unnecessary anxiety. That means unnecessary fear and anger, and free from social and psychological tensions. So they will be tensionless, and healthy person will be having self confidence. So they will be having confidence themselves, and the healthy person will feel joy in living. So while living with family and friends, they will be having enjoyment, and good healthy person have the ability to work efficiently and at its best. So they can work very effectively, and their work will be best. Okay, so these are certain characteristics of a person having good health. So what are they? So the healthy person will free from sickness and disease. They will be free from unnecessary anxiety, free from social and psychological tensions. They will be having self confidence. They will feel joy in living, and they have the ability to work efficiently and at its best. Now, importance of good health. So what are the why we should lead a healthy life, or why there is a need of good health? So if you want if we are having good health, we can maintain a proper physical and social environment. Okay, and if we are having a good health, then we can have good economic conditions. Then if there is a good health, we'll be having the social equality and harmony. Harmony means happiness. Okay, so if we are maintaining a good health in our body, it will give us physical and social environment and good economic conditions, and it will give social equality and happiness in our life. So it is very important to maintain healthy life. Now here you can see the difference between healthy and disease free. So healthy means, it is the state of physical, mental and social well-being. Okay, so what is meant by healthy? It is a state of physical, mental and social well-being. Disease free means it is the state of absence from disease. If the person is not having any disease, we can say that disease free. And healthy means it refers to the individual physical and social environment, and disease free means it refers only to the individual. So if a particular person, it refers to the particular person's health, but health means it refers to individually, physically and socially health. Then individual has good health. If the healthy means the individual has good health. Disease free means the individual may have good health or poor health, but they will not be having any disease, but we can say they will be having a good health or poor health. Then healthy means they are spread through some agency such as air, food, contact, insects, etc. So disease free means they do not spread through any agency. So health will be affected through some agents such as air, food, contact, insects, etc. But disease free means they will not spread by any agents. Now we can see what is meant by disease. Any disturbance in the structure or function of any organ or part of the body is called as disease. So what is meant by disease? Any disturbance in the structure or function of any organ, or if any part or organ of our body is affected, it will be called as disease. So how it will be caused? It may be caused due to the attack of pathogens. So pathogens, example, virus, bacteria, fungi, etc. Okay, so this disease may be caused due to the attack of pathogens or by the lack of nutritious diet. So if you are not having the balanced diet or nutritious diet in our food, it will cause disease. And lack of public health services. So if there is a lack of public health services, it will also causes a certain disease. So, once the disease is caused, it will give certain signs which is called as symptoms. Okay, so disease will give signs which is called symptoms. So, on the basis of symptoms, the physicians look for the sign of particular disease and conduct a test to confirm the disease. So, once if you are going to physician or doctor, they will see the sign of the particular disease and conduct test to confirm the disease. Now there are 4 different types of disease. So in this video we can see only 2 types of disease, acute disease and chronic disease. In the next video we can see about non-infectious and infectious disease. Okay, so types of disease. First one is acute disease, chronic disease, non-infectious or non-communicable disease, infectious or communicable disease. Okay, so acute disease, chronic disease, non-infectious or non-communicable disease. So non-infectious is also called as non-communicable disease, infectious or communicable disease. Let us see briefly about these types. Now what is meant by acute disease? So the disease which lasts for only a short period of time. This disease will occur only for a short period. Okay, so it will be remain for short period of time. Then certain disease is called as acute disease. So acute disease means disease which lasts for only a short period of time. It is called as acute disease. So example for acute disease or influenza, we will call it as flu. Okay, so it is also called as flu and common cold. So these are certain disease which will be lost for only a short period of time. So they are called as acute disease. Now here you can see in the picture. So disease will show certain symptoms like fever. So sudden symptoms such as it will severe, it will come on without warning. So disease symptoms will be severe and it will be come without warning. And fever sometimes 100°F or greater. Then some aches, sudden unexplained aches, so headache, body ache, or stomach ache or such aches. Then chills, unexplained chills, so tiredness. So these are certain symptoms which shows that we are affected by a certain disease. So there is some disturbance created in our body parts which will show certain symptoms. And the common cold has no cure and can live for hours outside the body. So the common cold virus, it has no, once the common cold, it has no cure and can live for hours outside the body, then it will enter into our body and cause common cold. Now typhoid, it is also an example for acute disease. So it is caused by the bacteria called Salmonella typhi. So which is the bacteria causes typhoid? Salmonella typhi is the bacterium which causes typhoid. So how it is transmitted? The mode of transmission is through food or through the contaminated water. Okay, so if not properly cooked food or contaminated water by which it will cause typhoid. Then common symptoms for the typhoid are loss of appetite, fever, nausea, diarrhea, abdominal cramps, vomiting. Okay, so these are certain symptoms which will show that you are affected by typhoid. So typhoid is caused by bacteria called Salmonella typhi and mode of transmission is through contaminated water and properly uncooked food. And here certain symptoms such as loss of appetite, fever, nausea, diarrhea, abdominal cramps and vomiting shows that you are affected by typhoid. Now next type of disease is chronic disease. which lasts for long time. So disease which lasts for a long time and has long term drastic effect on health. So it will last for a long time, long period, and has lot of, it will affect a long term drastic effect. That means it will seriously affect our health. Example for chronic disease is elephantiasis. So here you can see the picture of elephantiasis, so which is the chronic disease which lasts for a long time and has a long term drastic effect on health. Now tuberculosis also example for the chronic disease. So it is caused by the bacterium called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So it will affect the lungs of our body. Okay, so the body organ which is affected due to tuberculosis is lungs. So Mycobacterium tuberculosis will multiply inside the lungs and it will cause cough, fever, and there will be a frequent cough by the infected person, and it can be spread from one person to another person through droplets from a cough or sneeze by an infected person. So if the infected person cough or sneeze, the droplets from a cough or sneeze, it will be spreaded to the other person from the infected person. Okay, so tuberculosis is also a example from the chronic disease. So chronic disease means disease which lasts for the long period and it will cause long term drastic effect on our health. Now here you can see the difference between acute disease and chronic disease. So first one is acute disease is short duration disease. So it will occur and last for short period. Chronic disease, it was long lasting disease. It will be remain for long time. And acute disease, patient recovers completely after the cure. So once it get cured, patients will be recovers. But chronic disease, patient does not recover completely. And acute disease, there is no loss of weight or feeling of tiredness afterward. And chronic disease, it will cause loss of weight and feeling of tiredness. And acute disease is a short duration, loss of work and efficiency. But chronic disease, it will cause prolonged loss of work and efficiency. So these are certain difference between acute disease and chronic disease. So I hope that you have understand about the two types of disease. In the next video we can see about infectious and non-infectious disease. If you have any doubt, you can ask children. Thank you.